Hi, and thank you so much for joining me today for another process video. And today is day 24 of Scraptember 2024, and the prompt today is to use stars. So you can see there I've pulled out my LE Studio star die and I've pulled out Good Vibrations. I'm definitely on a kick with this collection at the moment, so I'm just going to die cut some stars from some of the pattern papers in Good Vibrations. I think I chose 2 different papers to cut these stars out of, and I've got 2 photos of James doing his weightlifting at Loughborough University. He's doing a diploma in sporting excellence. It was put on by British Weightlifting and he was chosen to go and do that, so he's got 2 years of weekends away at Loughborough where they practice their trade. So one of his old coaches, Heather, took these fabulous photos. She's a brilliant photographer and I just love them. They really capture the essence of James when he's doing his weight training, so I wanted to document them. So I've pulled out my Tim Holtz stamps and I just wanted to create a nice background for all the stars to sit on. So I'm just going to add 3 different colours across the page, well, going down the page, but drawing lines, if you like, with this stamp across the page. So I've started off with fossilised amber, and then I'm going to go in with tea dye, and then the red is lumberjack plaid. I just think these colours go really nicely with the colours in Good Vibrations from Pretty Little Studio, so that's why I chose them. So you can see I'm just bumping up the stamp end to end to get these strips across the page, and I'm going to try and offset them against one another. So you can see this tea dye I've moved over slightly to the right. I tried doing a second generation stamping, but it just wasn't strong enough in colour for me. I wanted a really bold stripe. That said, now I'm looking at the layout, not a lot of this shows through. I managed to cover an awful lot up, but I am turning that stamp around sometimes as well to use the opposite ends so that it just creates a little bit of interest and movement across the page there. So one more strip in this tea dye, and then I shall carry on with the lumberjack plaid. So while I'm doing that, please don't forget to check the description box down below. I'm going to leave a link to the playlist of everybody joining in on this hop. We're getting close to the end of September now, so there are plenty of videos for you to go and have a look and enjoy from my peers. There are some wonderful layouts there, so do go and check them out. Share the love, give some likes, and subscribe to their channels if it's somebody you've not seen before and you enjoy watching them. We really do love it's worth doing it when you know that people are enjoying your videos. So here I am adding that red down. I'm just going to add 2 strips of the red. I didn't want to add too much because it's quite a strong colour. So there we go, and I think those two are enough, and that looks really nice as a background for the page. Just wanted to get that a little bit deeper on that side, and there we go. So I'm going to bring the photos back in and have a quick look to see how I want things. I considered moving them around, but I decided I wanted them this way round. And then I'm going to go in with some of the Hey Little Magpie stamps. This is the Life Captured set, and there are quite a few stars on this set. So I start with the circle with the star cut out in the middle, and I just wanted to add a little bit of pink because there's some pink in those papers that I chose. So I've gone in with Spun Sugar, which is a really nice match actually for Good Vibrations. So if you've got that collection, do try that out. I then went in with Uncharted Mariner. I think it's the closest blue to that tealy blue, the deep blue that's in the collection as well. So just a couple using that, and then I'm going to go in with the set of stars from the same stamp and just stamp that about in black soot just to bring some black around the page. I think I do 3 or 4 of this, some at the top, and you can see again I'm turning the stamp round in some places just to get some variation. 5 I think I did with that one. And then there's a solid star as well, which is like the cutout from that circle. So I'm going to come in with this with a couple of colours as well, with the yellow and red. So first of all, dotting that yellow around, and I'm roughly leaving the photos where they're going to go. Obviously I've moved them out of the way so that I can stamp, and some of the images will only partially be showing, but I wanted to have an idea of where they would be so that it wasn't just stamping behind the photos wasting my time. So here's that red. And that's that stamping done. So now I can stick the photos down and then start adding those die cut stars, and then I will come in with some other stickers and things that I pulled out of my stash as well. So there the photos are, and you can see already quite a lot of those strips are covered up, but no matter, they do peek out and definitely provide some interest behind all these bits that I add. So just having a quick look through, I want to choose a title. I thought about this one that says Good Vibrations, but then I found a better one, The Good Things Are Coming. I thought that worked really nicely with this. So it's going to go up on the right hand side there, just overlapping the two edges of the two photos. And then I also found this piece that says Seas Today, and I really like that. And of course a star. So I'm just going to stick these down flat onto the page. It's a relatively flat page for me. No foam on this one. Nice to have those sometimes in the album. So there's another die cut piece, that circle with the black star on. Thought about using that, but then decided that I really needed to bring in some of these die cuts that I created myself. So I'm just going to go in with my Nouveau Glue. Now, this is a new bottle, and I put the fine nozzle tip on the top of it, and you can probably see, if you watch the tip of the glue, it's coming out. I think it's still a little bit too full, and the air is forcing the glue out of the tip. So every time I come in with it, I'm having to wipe it off onto the card before I can glue it down. It's really frustrating. Hopefully once I've used a little bit more, it won't do that so much. I think an air bubble just gets trapped behind some of the glue and forces it out. So I wanted a little place to add my journaling. I've not got a huge amount to say, but just to say where he is and what he's doing. So I thought this little label would be perfect for that. So that's going there, and then I'll carry on with all these die cuts. So you can see, look, I'm having to wipe the glue, the nozzle of the glue each time. It really does make a mess. And some of these stars I do want to take off the top and bottom of the page as well, just so it looks like a continual row, well, a smattering of stars going right the way across. So you'll see in a bit I do that. Just stick it ever so slightly over the edge so that I can trim that off. And already I feel like the page is filling up very quickly, but I just overlap stars one on top of the other and create, I suppose it's a confetti of stars, isn't it? All different sizes and types. I do like these outline ones. They just add something a little bit different, and layering those up with those stamped images, it's really nice. So here's one that's going to go off the top of the page slightly. You can just see it peeping off the top there. And then I do the same at the bottom. I'm getting down to the smaller bits now. Just trying to add the big bits first, because it's much easier to squeeze little bits in once the big bits are on. And you seem to be on a roll picking up the small bits now. I do add that last outline though, in due course. And these teeny tiny stars from the middle of those outline stars, nothing was wasted. They all worked really nicely on this page. And you can see where I chose that colour block paper. It's almost like a grid paper, I suppose. You've got some stars with red and pink, some with yellow and red. It just works beautifully. So here's that last one. Ends up going just under the photo there. There we go. So just going to trim those bits off the top and bottom. And then add my journaling. And then I'm going to go into some of those sticker sheets that I mentioned. So this is an old Bo Bunny piece that's got some puffy circles with stars printed on them, so I've used those. And then I think it's mainly Ellie Studio, so these are some Ellie Studio puffy star stickers. So just picking out the colours that go with this collection, so the reds and oranges work nicely for here. And I think I may have added some of the greens as well, I forget now. No, just the reds and oranges. And adding different sizes as well as I go. Oh, and the blues, because there's blue in the background where James is standing, and those lovely blacks. This is an acetate sheet again from Ellie Studio. It's been really nice to go into some older stash again. I've been neglecting it while I've been using some of the newer collections. And then these lovely chipboard. This was stars and hearts. I think it was Cool Tone she called them. They're from a good while ago now, but I do love Ellie's Studio Bits for adding bits and pieces to pages. So my usual tab at the top of my photo, just so that I can add the date up there. So again, adding the date using my roller date stamp and my archiver link, and then just cutting it out of a scrap piece of white. And that will sit on that craft tab. And then the last thing to do is come in with some tiny black splatters. I don't want too many. I'm going to use my watercolour pencils from Tim Holtz. Just add some water to react them and add a few splatters, bottom left and top right. And that's it done. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope I've provided some inspiration, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.